Welcome, everybody. I'm Mike Allen, and this is On the Air. In the first hour, we'll be welcoming the 2013 Smart Mark Radio Fan Choice for Independent Wrestling Manager of the Year, Mr. Nigel Rabbert. He'll be talking to us about the recap of WrestleMania 30 this last weekend and the passing of a legend. In the second hour, Ryan Lee returns to the show as we talk about more about gun stuff. All that and more. Stick around. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you are on the air.
Breaking news, sports fans. Daily Big Shot is in your face. Daily Big Shot is taking over fantasy sports. Fantasy sports players are raving about the bigger payouts and better scoring rules. Customers are running to sign up for free or play for daily entry fees. It's easy. Sign up, select players. Team with the most points wins. Sign up and enter DailyBigShot.com's free pro jersey or pro game ticket contest just by registering. DailyBigShot.com. Better payouts, better scoring, better fantasy sports. Some rules and restrictions may apply. See website for details.
You want to lose weight, gain energy and performance, age more youthfully, or enhance your skin at the cellular level? Then Isogenics is for you. Simply take a portion of your grocery budget and put it towards your health. I understand life gets busy, but there is no better time to pursue your health goals than with Isogenics today. Barry Oxford would like to set up an appointment with you to answer any questions and help you better understand why Isogenics and why now. Please visit his website at www.barryoxford.isogenics.com. That's BARRYOXFORD.ISAGENIX.com to either buy products or sign up. Save 33% if you act right now. This message brought to you by Barry Oxford, your Isogenics independent associate.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at Route106Motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. Route106Motors.com.
Do you think laughter is for sissies? Or do you hate Santa Claus? Do you know that somebody does? If you answer yes to either of these two questions, then see a therapist. And visit this website right now at TwerksFunnyT-shirts.com. The T in T-shirt is spelled T-E-E. Warning. These funny t-shirts and posters make great gifts and may cause internal bleeding, night terrors, blurred vision, and hemorrhoids. Please visit the website right now at TwerksFunnyT-shirts.com, where you'll find some of the funniest t-shirts and posters on the web. Come join me, Matt Hazley, your host for Straight Talk, where we will take a journey into the deepest regions of your mind. Yeah, right. Nah, just kidding. Join me every Monday and Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where every topic is fair game. Only on Armed Radio, home of the big guns.
All right, welcome to the show. I tell you, what a big weekend this last weekend was. We had the national championship in basketball. Both the men's and women's teams from UConn won that in the men's and the women's divisions. It was crazy. But this big weekend was all about WrestleMania. For all you wrestling fans out there, that's like the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. It's put on by the WWE. They start the weekend off on a Saturday night where they have the WWE Hall of Fame, something that the WWE has put together for the wrestlers to be immortalized. And one of this year's class was the Ultimate Warrior. I don't know if anybody here watched wrestling back in the late 80s, early 90s, but the Ultimate Warrior was a larger-than-life wrestler. And he was... it's hard to explain him as a wrestler. And there's a lot of things have been said, a lot of a lot of videos, documentaries. How the hell am I going to get documentaries? Holy cow. Documentaries have been done about the Ultimate Warrior in his time in the World Wrestling Federation and then World Wrestling Entertainment. There was a fallout between himself and Vince McMahon, the owner and the lead promoter of the WWE back then. Also with Hulk Hogan, who was the other face back then. They had a very memorable match in WrestleMania where... both went in. I think the Ultimate Warrior was the Intercontinental Champion at the time. Hulk was the World Heavyweight Champion or the WWE Champion, and the winner was going to be a double champion, and the Warrior won that. But then there was some stuff happening in the back. Anyway, it didn't end well. Let's put it that way. And apparently, this year, the Warrior kind of came full circle, came back, was mending a lot of bridges, mending a lot of fences, reconciled with Hulk, reconciled with Vince McMahon, reconciled with a lot of folks, Triple H, just everything that was happening. And then he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as this year's class. And he had a very moving speech in the Hall of Fame. But then he showed up on Monday Night Raw. And did, in the wrestling world, what you call, he shot a promo. He came out, it was the first time on Monday Night Raw in over 20 years. And he came out and he said some things, in his promo, pure warrior. Of course, he showed his age. And then less than 48 hours later, he collapsed and died of a heart attack. So I'm going to let you listen to his Monday Night Raw promo. And then when we come back, we'll have our guest on, who is probably the most knowledgeable person on professional wrestling that I know personally. He's going to come on the show tonight. We're going to talk about this and some other stuff that happened in the pro wrestling world. But here from Monday Night Raw, April 7th, the Ultimate Warrior.
The Warrior! Well then, you shut up, Warrior, and let me do the talking. No WWE talent becomes a legend on their own. Every man's heart one day beats its final beat. His lungs breathe their final breath. And if what that man did in his life makes the blood pulse through the body of others, it makes them bleed deeper in something than larger than life, then his essence, his spirit will be immortalized by the storytellers, by the loyalty, by the memory of those who honor him and make the running the man did live forever. You are the legend makers of Ultimate Warrior. In the back, I see many potential legends, some of them with warrior spirits, and you will do the same for them. You will decide if they lived with a passion and intensity. So much so that you will tell your stories and you will make them legends as well. I am Ultimate Warrior. You are the Ultimate Warrior fans. And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever.
The Ultimate Warrior. And that was Monday Night Raw. And then, like I said, less than a day later, while walking with his wife out to his car in Arizona, as they were there on business, it's been reported now that witnesses said that he clutched his chest, he collapsed to the ground, and passed away of what they're calling a massive medical incident. Please welcome on the air your 2013, one of the many 2013 Smart Mark Radio Fan Choice for Independent Wrestling Manager of the Year nominee, leader of the Rabbit Empire, gentleman and scholar, and my friend, Nigel Rabbit.
Thank you so much, Mike. That was far more gilding the lily than I deserved, but appreciated nonetheless.
Now, we were chatting back and forth before the show. That was the first time you heard his Monday Night Raw promo, wasn't it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was. I've started a workout regimen so that when I cause trouble ringside, I can better flee from people who are bigger than me.
So I don't have to carry you out anymore? Is that what you're saying?
That's my hope. That's my hope. Unless, of course, Raven insists I get in a ring with Austin again.
No, that's, yeah. I answered a phone call and bailed. I got smart. So what do you think about that? I mean, there's, of course, things are flying all over Facebook, flying all over Twitter. As a matter of fact, if anybody's out there listening tonight and would like to chime in on any of the topics we're talking about, you can tweet at Mike Allen Sports, hashtag it Armed Radio, and then hashtag it WMXXX for WrestleMania 30, and that'll be tagged. But what do you think about his words? There's a lot of speculation that he might have known. Or is he just being Warrior and it's just a circumstance?
Well, the Ultimate Warrior has a reputation of being a very prideful man. Not necessarily do I mean that in a negative sense, but I just mean that the Warrior was known for very adamantly believing in himself and doing what he needed to take care of himself. In the wrestling industry, that's a very, very actually kind of dangerous thing to do. If you stand up for yourself too much, you can end up without a job. You can end up with people disliking you because you're either not towing the line or what have you. I've gotten mixed reports from some of my friends who knew Mr. Well, now he's Mr. Warrior. Originally he was Mr. Hellwig, but knew the Warrior when he was here in DFW as WCW, and I've heard everything from he was a jerk and an ass to he was just someone who didn't put up with anyone's garbage. He wasn't going to take shite from anyone, and people didn't like him for that. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because Warrior had made a tremendous number of enemies over the years, whether it was standing up for himself or being prideful and not doing things right by the business. He made a lot of hard and sometimes to people on the outside of the Warriors' immediate universe, very crazy decisions. And in that course, he had issues with Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, fellow Hall of Fame 2014 inductee Jake the Snake Roberts actually tweeted today that he was thankful that he had a chance to bury the hatchet and embrace the Warrior, and that they were talking about doing some work together. The pictures floating around Facebook, Twitter, the internet as a whole of Hulk, or not Hulk, but the Ultimate Warrior fully embracing Vince McMahon, a man who the two made each other's lives miserable. I'm sure it was more painful for the Warrior than it was for Vince McMahon. But I mean, the reason why Warrior changed his name legally to Warrior was to aid in a lawsuit against Titan Entertainment, or Titan Sports and Entertainment, which was the original parent company name for WWE, WWF.
And that was for copyright. So,
yeah, so
WWE couldn't use any
copyright
of his
use of the character of the Ultimate Warrior.
Which just to let everybody know, when a wrestler gets to that level, part of your contract now, because of that incident, you sign away future endorsements made by the WWE of your likeness, even after you're not with the company anymore. That's why you'll see the Hardy Boys, you'll see the old WWF with Sting and all those guys. They're still going to be used in because they sign there's a clause in there that says if you were here on good standing, even if we fire you, you're part of the history now, and we can use your likeness in telling our story.
Yeah, it's it's something that you take a look at the amount of money that WWE makes.
Which is a little bit. It's a little bit.
Yeah, hand over fist. I mean, and Ultimate Warrior has always been one of those characters. WWE, I'm sure, has been dying to come to some kind of positive agreement with Warrior, so that they could go back to doing things like using his likeness.
Well, for a while on Netflix, they had the official WWE documentary on the Warrior. And
yes.
That's where I watched it. I watched it, and I learned most of the stuff. And then, of course, you get on YouTube. He's got his shoot that he did, and it was pretty. I mean, it's pretty deep. I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah, well, there's a tremendous amount of. The fact that he reconciled with Vince McMahon, because rumor has it that he was invited to be a part of the Hall of Fame induction last year, and he refused. Well, now again, that's rumor, speculation. I honestly don't have that much in the way of good contacts within the E. If I did, I'd have more of a standing with getting out of the Indies. But the rumor has it is that he was invited to the 2013 class Hall of Fame and refused. So
now
the speculation
just
that
because
he knew,
of the animosity that lingered from 20 years ago.
About 18, but because the icing on the cake, on top of all of this, copyright and being merchandising, being able to use his character. Because to be honest, at that point,
well, I tell you what, hold that thought.
Certainly,
we gotta cut to a commercial. I'm on the air with Nigel Rabbit, and we're talking about the legacy of the Ultimate Warrior, who recently passed away Tuesday, right after being inducted into the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame. We'll be back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you are on the air. expanding, or remodeling, the name in site work is Savino Contracting. Experts in demolition, excavation, sewer and septic tank installation, and site prep. Get in touch on Twitter at Savino Contract or call 508-989-0960 or email to evsavino@yahoo.com. Savino Contracting has what it takes to get the job done.
Wow, that tiger lily on your shoulder has amazing colors.
Thanks. I just got this tattoo a week ago.
What? No way. That tattoo looks totally healed. My tattoos never looked that great after a week. What did you use on it?
It's not what I used on it, it's what I used in it.
Now you're just making fun of me. What do you mean in it?
Tattoo Rick told me that it's not only what you put on your tattoos, it's what you put in your body that also affects your tattoos.
Great. Another thing I have to change about my diet.
No, nothing like that. I take the tattoo pill.
Really? There's a pill for tattoos?
Yeah, it's called a tattoo pill. It's packed with 30 vitamins and minerals that your body needs to help operate at ideal level. It helps me before, during, and after my tattoo. Great thing is, it's made here in the United States from all natural ingredients. And for people like me that are vegetarians, the tattoo pill comes in a veggie capsule and is gluten-free.
Okay, you got me. Where do I get this tattoo pill?
TheTattooPill.com.
TheTattooPill.com?
Yes, all one word, TheTattooPill.com.
Hey, listen up. Are you tired of being tired? Looking for that extra boost? Do yourself a favor and visit BuyLimitlessEnergy.com to learn about limitless energy. That's BuyLimitlessEnergy.com for limitless energy. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. BuyLimitlessEnergy.com. That's BuyLimitlessEnergy.com. So stop wasting your life. Get limitless energy now.
Hey you, sitting in front of your computer dreaming that you can be paid to play games. Now it's possible. Start making money today playing new video games. How would you like to sit in the comfort of your own home, play and test games, eat pizza, drink soda, and get a nice big fat paycheck at the end of the month? This is a perfect opportunity for gamers, students, or someone that just doesn't have the time to commute to a dead-end part-time job, or for anyone who wants to sit in their pajamas and work from home. Join now, risk-free. Start your 7-day trial today at www.gamingjobsonline.com. That's www.gamingjobsonline.com. Game now.
What if money were no longer a problem? What if you could earn extra money without risking what you are currently doing? We have an easy, cost-effective, and stable system for anyone that is money challenged or money motivated to kickstart their finances. Create a new potentially significant income source for as little as $1.25. Yes, that's 5 measly quarters. This is your solution for generating the kind of income you deserve. So dig 5 quarters out of your couch cushions and go to www.5quarterbusiness.com. Again, that's www.5quarterbusiness.com.
This is Jason Merrill from the John and Jay Show every Tuesday nights at 11 Eastern on Live 365 Radio, home of the big guns.
All right, we are back on the air with Nigel Rabbit of the Rabbit Empire. We're talking about the Ultimate Warrior's untimely passing Tuesday night after what seems to be a heart attack, after being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame on Saturday, and then showing up on Raw on Monday. The next day, he passed away and left us. Now, we were talking about his rocky relationship with the WWE, where they didn't really see eye to eye.
Yeah, well, that's putting it mildly. I think probably the thing that aside from the copyright issues that obviously Warrior wanted to get paid for his likeness, and WWE was not willing to pay him for his likeness, and I think that stemmed from the very last appearance that the Warrior was supposed to have with the WWE is he was supposed to be tagging with Hulk Hogan against, for the life of me, I can't remember who the opponents were, but he was going to be this big to do.
And they promoted that pretty heavy, I remember.
Yeah. Oh, it was Sergeant Slaughter as the Iraqi turncoat, Colonel Mustafa, which, if I recall correctly, was actually the Iron Sheik, and General Adnan as a 2 versus 3 handicap tag match. And what the Warrior ended up doing is he ended up sending Vince a letter demanding certain things, monies, an increase in the revenue coming from the merchandise, that kind of thing. Supposedly Vince sent him a letter saying, "Okay, you got it. Whatever needs to be done. I'm an admirer of you, and you're a member of the WWE family. I'm glad we can sort these kinds of things out." And Warrior showed up, and he received a letter of suspension when he showed up, and they replaced him with Sid Vicious. And instead of accepting the suspension, the Warrior walked on his contract, which, at the time...
Yeah, he just left.
Yeah, well, he sawed off you, and, la la la, yeah.
And so that was 18, 20 years ago, and for all this time, there was no communication other than through what's called a shoot interview, which is basically talking trash about your opponents or talking trash about whatever it is that is on your mind, and that they're all over YouTube. You can go to YouTube and just type in Ultimate Warrior, and it's pretty much, I would have to say, if you're looking for an Ultimate Warrior match, make sure you're specific and type in Ultimate Warrior match or wrestling or versus, because a lot of that's just Hulk Hogan responding to Jim, who's talking about Hulk, who's talking about it. It gets tiring after a while. And then you got all the commentary about it, like what we're doing tonight.
Right. Yeah.
But after listening to his promo, after listening to the words that he was saying, Nigel, the speculation is he kind of knew he wasn't going to be around much longer, and that he wanted to tie up these loose ends, maybe mend these fences before anything happened.
I can only hazard a guess, but the guess is to completely agree. The Warrior's reputation was tumultuous at best, and the fact that a man who had such tremendous pride and sense of self would bury the hatchet with as many people as he did.
In such a short amount of time. I mean, this is like in the last couple of weeks. This is, this wasn't over years. This is pretty short window of time leading up to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
from what I'm gathering.
Some of these people he mended fences with. The day of the Hall of Fame induction. So we're talking a man who literally said, I'm sorry for all the ill that I've done and the way that I've treated you, and please forgive me. He said that within days of passing away. It's eerie, and again, his words his words at the end of everything are ultimately what convinces me he knew what was going on. It doesn't make sense for him to have said, "I'm sorry," like that.
Now, did you hear his induction speech, his Hall of Fame induction speech?
Yeah, I was booked on a show.
So you didn't hear that one either?
No. I actually, a number of the lads that I work with at Metroplex Wrestling, we had a Metroplex Wrestling show that night, and a lot of the lads were, because, I mean, it's only a few hours drive to New Orleans from Dallas. A lot of the lads were there. And the one thing that I kept hearing from people is that Warrior's speech was very much Warrior, he can pontificate.
Yeah.
He's not short on ability to speak, that's for certain.
Well, he brought his daughters up and he talked about his family, and it you expect that in a Hall of Fame speech. Some of the best WWE Hall of Fame speeches I've ever seen are like Stone Cold when he accepted, and of course Ric Flair was very moving. His was very poignant because he had Ric Flair's. His problem is he spends all his money as fast as he can make it.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, you put a little aside, You back a few and put some in a mattress somewhere,
Right? God bless him. He desperately needs to.
I mean, some of the guys now, like John Cena, he could stop wrestling tomorrow, and what he's done with his money and invested it in properties, and I mean, I think they've got a little better handle. Well,
I'll credit John Bradshaw for that. John Bradshaw actually doesn't need to wrestle. He doesn't need his commentary position. He is, to use a Texas colloquialism, high on the hog. He's got a tremendous amount of money that he's acquired through stocks and bonds and things of that nature. It's pretty amazing you watch films like The Wrestler, and when the director's name, Darren Aronofsky, I think is his name, when he made that film and debuted it, Roddy Piper happened to be sitting in the audience, and someone asked Piper if someone told the director, "Hey, there's we've got Piper in the audience." So he asked, I understand Roddy Piper's in our audience. Piper is, how does this hold up to real life? And there's this long pause, and then you hear Piper go, "Yeah, it's pretty close." Mr. Toombs, if you're listening, I apologize for my terrible impersonation of you. But the industry is very difficult on people.
Well, I watched The Wrestler before I got into ring announcing, and I watched it again just recently because I watched it with new eyes, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
Right? Yeah. No.
And it really, I mean, it really displays the whole indie type world that a lot of the professional wrestlers are living in, and this is a guy he was in front of thousands of people. He's got a video game with his likeness on. He's living in a trailer. And I think about guys that are still wrestling that used to be on the WWE and WCCW and ECW, the guys that I've met that we've worked with.
Right.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes?
Oh, okay. And the guys that we've even worked with that have come in and we've worked with. And, I have great respect for those guys for what they've gone through and the commitment they have to the business. But when I watched the wrestler, when I first met Raven, he just how he carries himself with that quiet pride, and he reminded me a lot of that character in the wrestler.
Yeah. I hate to say it, there seems to be a tremendous amount of similarity between the two, because especially with everything that Raven's done in the business, God bless him, he's put himself through physical hell, and yet still wrestles, and he's not commanding the payday that he was commanding when he was on certainly not WCCW or not WCCW, WCW or ECW.
No.
And
not the promotions we worked with him. No, I would say.
No, bless him.
Bless his heart.
I'm sure he made a couple hundred. But
he wasn't walking out of there with a bag of money. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No disrespect to the promoter.
No, not well. And Raven's a professional, and those guys are professionals. What's the guy out of Louisiana? Him and his wife.
Oh, Rodney Mack and
Rodney
Jazz.
Mack and Jazz. Great. I mean, just the neatest people you'd ever talk to. Very, very humble. But they know what they're getting into. They're not new to this. When you show up and the promoters, put a show together and there's 20 people out there, they know the deal. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've learned. I learned in my short time that I was with professional wrestling, and I still might do some here and there, depending on the promotion. Say if a good friend from Dallas would call and say, "Hey, come on up, and I'll put you up for the night, and we'll drink some warm English beer and have a night." I might do something like that. But I've moved on to MMA. But just my time in professional wrestling, what really struck me about that industry is there's no in-between. You've got guys that get it, and they understand the sacrifice, they understand the seriousness of what they do, and they take it with that kind of respect, and you can just tell they're very humble. And then you got guys who have no business whatsoever doing anything in that business, and unfortunately there's promoters that'll book those guys because they got to have matches. And I'm not mentioning any names. I'm not going to get myself in trouble. And there's very few.
And it's not fair. It's not fair to say anything unless you've actually worked a number of shows with.
Exactly, and that's why I'm from the outside looking in. I had a conversation with one of our mutual friends, and he asked me about that. He says, why do you comment on that? And I said, well, you got to understand, I'm looking at this from new eyes. You've been in it for so long, I don't think you can see the forest for the trees. I mean, you got to understand, you can keep having shows with 10 people in it, but you're not, something's not being done correctly. You need to figure out what that is, because I'll come here and I'll have fun and I'll introduce you guys, but trust me, when you introduce the winner of a match in front of, or a bout now, because in MMA, when you're in front of 3,500 people, it's a heck of a lot cooler than 20 people.
Yes.
What I mean?
I'd have to agree.
and even in my limited time with the Texas Wrestling Federation, they had some pretty good crowds. Like in Victoria and Alice, we'd have 300-400 people. The crowd energy is so much better than 10.
Yeah, certainly. I have to say I've been really blessed here in Dallas with Metroplex Wrestling, because Metroplex Wrestling, while not having humongous crowds, I mean we've been pushing 150 somewhere in that area recently.
And that's a pretty good size for an indie promotion.
Especially one that I mean we run every 2 weeks, so it's real easy every 2 weeks for someone to go, what do we care?
Yeah, I'll skip this one and go to the next one. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we we've got a collection of fans. We've got one collection of fans who call themselves the Top Hat Mafia. Nice bunch of guys. The guy
that's your people, right?
I'm sorry.
That's your people, right?
Actually, no. They're actually they love the baby faces. They tolerate me because when they talk to me outside of the ring, I treat them well. More appropriate when I meet them outside of the ring, outside of Metroplex Wrestling, when I'm not actually on site. I treat them with the respect that, thank you so much for being a fan. We really appreciate it. Keep booing me and hating me, because that's really, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Do, yeah. Well, hey, we're gonna take a commercial break. If you guys are out there listening right now, you can tweet in myself and Nigel as we go into the last segment of this hour at Mike Allen Sports. Hashtag it Armed Radio. I'm on the air with Nigel Rabbit. We'll be back after these messages. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you are on the air.
Breaking news, sports fans. Daily Big Shot is in your face. Daily Big Shot is taking over fantasy sports. Fantasy sports players are raving about the bigger payouts and better scoring rules. Customers are running to sign up for free or play for daily entry fees. It's easy. Sign up, select players. Team with the most points wins. Sign up and enter DailyBigShot.com's free pro jersey or pro game ticket contest just by registering. DailyBigShot.com. Better payouts, better scoring, better fantasy sports. Some rules and restrictions may apply. See website for details.
You want to lose weight, gain energy and performance, age more youthfully, or enhance your skin at the cellular level? Then Isogenics is for you. Simply take a portion of your grocery budget and put it towards your health. I understand life gets busy, but there is no better time to pursue your health goals than with Isogenics today. Barry Oxford would like to set up an appointment with you to answer any questions and help you better understand why Isogenics and why now. Please visit his website at www.barryoxford.isogenics.com. That's BARRYOXFORD.ISAGENIX.com to either buy products or sign up. Save 33% if you act right now. This message brought to you by Barry Oxford, your Isogenics independent associate.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at Route106Motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. Route106Motors.com.
Do you think laughter is for sissies? Or do you hate Santa Claus? Do you know that somebody does? If you answer yes to either of these two questions, then see a therapist. And visit this website right now at TwerksFunnyT-shirts.com. The T in T-shirt is spelled T-E-E. Warning. These funny t-shirts and posters make great gifts and may cause internal bleeding, night terrors, blurred vision, and hemorrhoids. Please visit the website right now at TwerksFunnyT-shirts.com, where you'll find some of the funniest t-shirts and posters on the web. Come join me, Matt Hazley, your host for Straight Talk. where we will take a journey into the deepest regions of your mind. Yeah, right. Nah, just kidding. Join me every Monday and Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where every topic is fair game. Only on ARM Radio, home of the big guns.
All right, we are back. Just a reminder, next weekend, 1 week from Friday, that'll be April 18th at the Nutty Brown Cafe in South Austin, Belts of Honorius, Cage of Athena. Looks like we're working on about 19 bouts of amateur MMA. I will be there. You should be there too. Tickets sell out fast. Go to cagetix.com for your chance to be a part of the fastest growing and only MMA event in Austin that sells out every single time and they don't cancel. So we'll see you there. Welcome back. I'm talking to Nigel Rabbit. We were talking about the WWE, the Ultimate Warrior. His passing this Tuesday after being inducted into the Hall of Fame, but something else happened during WrestleMania, something that, I think personally was the most brilliant. Yeah, it was the most brilliant thing ever done by WWE, in my opinion. You know what I'm talking about.
Surely you can't be discussing the streak.
The Ultimate Warrior. The Undertaker.
God rest him.
God rest his soul. And our thoughts and prayers do out to his wife and two beautiful daughters.
Yes.
Hopefully things are taken care of for them. I'm sure they will be.
Oh, yeah.
But this WrestleMania, the big build-up, the big... It was all about the streak and Daniel Bryan. And I can't even remember the other match. I don't even know the other matches that were on there, really. I think John Cena had something going on with the Hillbilly Brothers or the Wyatts or something.
The Wyatts, yes. That was actually one of the nicest matches I've seen Cena in. Since he debuted. I think that was one of his finest matches. Bray Wyatt put him through his paces, and Bray Wyatt's a force to contend with. He is a tremendous character.
Well, and I don't know who came up with that, with the whole Wyatt gimmick, but all three of them are very accomplished wrestlers. I think in ROH, wasn't it?
Well, I know that Bray himself is the son of Erwin R. Shyster, IRS.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, for some reason, his name is completely escaping me, which tells you how much I really know. But
IRS was a famous heel from the late 80s. I remember him. Used to come out with a briefcase and a suit.
And for a while, he was perhaps one of the best heel tag teams that didn't involve face paint. Which
like
he and Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, were Money Incorporated.
So that's another legacy. That's another kid of a wrestler that's wrestling. We've got a lot of them now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's at this point, some of the lads in the indie scene joke rather bitterly that it's you either have to know someone or be related to someone to get the easy door. Thank God that's not necessarily true because of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan.
Now he came up through our ROH. ROH, by the way, is Ring of Honor, which is another very, very, very good promotion.
He did, but he was trained here in Texas by Shawn Michaels at the Texas Wrestling Academy. down in San Antonio.
And that's the one that Rudy Boy Gonzalez runs now, right?
Yes. Rudy Boy Gonzalez runs that now.
All our listeners are like, we have no idea who you're talking
It's like, who are you people talking about? Rudy Boy Gon who?
Yeah.
Right. No, it's sadly the indie scene, for those of you who are not initiated in independent professional wrestling, is full of interesting names and characters and far more drama backstage than there ever is up front, where the audience is.
But I will tell you this, and this is just from my observation, again, being rather new and seeing the forest from the trees. If any of my listeners out there, and I'm looking down at the monitor right now, and we've got a lot of them.
Do we?
You're out there. Oh yeah, they must be all night. They all must be part of the Rabbit Empire.
Bless their hearts.
But if you like professional wrestling, and every Monday night you're parked in front of your TV set, and every Friday night you're parked in front of your TV set, and you went out and invested in the WWE Network, if you are not getting on Facebook or getting in Google or connecting with your local independent wrestling companies and going out and watching these kids, you're missing out, because a lot of these guys are going to end up, and a lot of them already have, in a limited role, which means that they're on the radar of the big leagues, the WWE, and one of them that comes to mind that we'll be seeing, a couple of them that I think we'll be seeing, but one for sure that we will be seeing on the big stage is Absolute Ricky Starks.
Oh, Ricky, tremendous young man.
And he gets it. He gets it. He gets it, and I've seen him on Inspire. I've introduced him. He's wrestled TWF. He's a young kid, like 20, 21 years old. He's paying the price, and you might remember Ricky, because he was backstage lingering at Monday Night Raw here in Austin, Texas, and had the unfortunate run-in with Ryback, as Ryback made him part of the potato salad.
Oof.
So
no, Ricky's a tremendous young man. If I recall correctly, we did a show with Ricky where I managed another young man who gets it and is destined for greatness in the business, Houston Carson.
Yes, yeah. As a matter of fact,
I had the pleasure of choking Ricky Starks.
Yeah. A lot of people want to, actually. He's doing a heel run right now in Inspire that is inspiring.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, he's if you ever make it down, if you need a place to crash, I got an extra bed. If you want to come down and watch Inspire Pro, that's worth the trip.
I have been meaning to. I really have.
Justin Bissonette has assembled. He gets it, and he got some people around him. He's not trying to do it all himself, which is a sign of a good leader. And that place is packed. It's the most people at an independent wrestling show that I've ever seen.
Yeah, Biss is a very sharp booker promoter. As a matter of fact, my friend Matthew Palmer has been discussing with me the fact that they want to bring me down. We just haven't yet found the capacity in which they want to bring me down in.
Well, he's got a heck of an event, and it's coming up here in the next couple of. Matter of fact, the same weekend that we'll be doing the Belts of Honorius, they'll be having the Inspire. I got a full weekend because I got Belts of Honorius Friday night, Thursday and Friday. Saturday is TCW making a return with Chi-Town's finest. Mr. B is putting on Wrestle Wars 5 here in Austin, and I'm going to go check that out and see if there's been some lessons learned, because I hope he's another one that gets it as a wrestler, and I like the guy, and I want him to succeed because he's got a passion for it. So we're going to check that out, and then of course Sunday's Inspire Pro. So this is going to be a full weekend.
Oh, certainly. As a matter of fact, was it just 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I did a show in Mississippi for North Delta Championship Wrestling. managed the Angel of Wrath Mace out there. Another fellow who truly understands and really gets in. If you have an opportunity to go catch the Angel of Wrath Mace anywhere, take it. The man's performance is inspired. He's on Facebook for those of you who are listening. As a matter of fact, if you go on Facebook and you look for his page, his fan page, the Angel of Wrath Mace, you'll find a video of his match that we had in Mississippi, and got some very perfect responses. Everything that he wanted to get from the crowd, he got.
So it's the Angel of Wrath Mace?
The Angel of Wrath Mace. If anybody if anyone listening used to watch professional championship wrestling in the DFW area during the early 2000s, he used to wrestle there under Mace Malone. Mace and I have actually talked a little bit about coming down to Inspire Pro and working down at Inspire Pro. There's just a whole host of tremendous talent that I'm really excited with an NXT that they're doing on the WWE network.
It's kind of a showcase of the next talent that's coming around.
Yes, but see, the thing that I find most brilliant is now we have another avenue through which people can be signed, can be booked, can get exposure on that national level that you need. But right now is an amazing time for professional wrestling.
Well, the next the wrestler that has just recently moved up to Ring of Honor he's wrestled Ring of Honor a few times, but now they've put him under contract. Is probably has one of the coolest ring entrances I've ever seen. That's ACH.
I love ACH. Such a nice man.
And he knows how to. He has some great matches in Anarchy when I go into the Anarchy shows.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But ACH and I worked a Wrecking Ball wrestling show together, and he was as humble can be, approachable. An amazing young man.
And he gets it. He gets it.
He does, and he's capable, tremendously capable. But speaking of people who are being called up to various places, be on the lookout for Dirty Andy Dalton.
I love me some Dalton, man. I love watching him.
he's going up to do a Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling tryout. He announced it on his Facebook.
Well, he's got the whole thing down, man. He's a lot of fun to watch, and he makes everybody that comes in the ring with him, he makes them a better wrestler.
Yeah, makes he does a lot. He's a lot like Flair. Makes people look like $1 million.
But in the limited time we have left here, because we're coming through the end of our segment, and I do appreciate you coming on. I know it's late. It's the middle of the week. I know we all have day jobs, but the one thing I wanted to mention, and I wanted to get your take on it real quick, is one of the most brilliant setups in the history of pro wrestling, in my opinion, up to this point, is when Brock Lesnar broke the streak, and everybody was on Facebook, and I want you to listen to the key words. Everybody was on Facebook and Twitter, and it blew up. That's all people talked about for 3 days. And I sat back and I watched. And somebody said, well, this and the streak and then that. And I made a post. I said, think about it. Would you have been talking about this if he'd have won? If he would have put Brock Lesnar on his back and pinned him, would we have been talking about 22-0? More people are talking about 21-1 than they are 22-0.
I wouldn't disagree with you on that, but
it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant.
My only, and I've been very hesitant to say anything critical about this because one, I'm not in the E. I'm basically a 5-year rookie. I've watched wrestling most of my life, but that doesn't mean I've got a good head for what they've done. I will say this though, because I was sitting with a friend of mine who remained nameless because he does have a chance at getting back to WWE, and I don't want to sully it by saying he said something that could be misconstrued as critical of the E. He said his only complaint about the entire match and the fact that Brock Lesnar, who is effectively, as far as a wrestler is concerned, is basically a weekend warrior. He only wants 26. He only has to work 26 dates because he doesn't like to travel. He's getting paid an exorbitant amount of money because he came from his original WWE run, which went very well, but he decided somewhere in the midst of it, I want to go play football for the Rams. It didn't work out. He tried to come back for a little bit in professional wrestling. That didn't work out, so he went to MMA. Ended up having...
And that worked out.
Well, that worked out brilliantly for him. I mean, he did really well until he ended up... What was it he had? Was it diverticulitis? He had something that was dealing with punctures in his lower GI.
Yeah, that's a rough life. That's
it is.
At the heavyweight level.
Please don't misunderstand and think I'm knocking Brock Lesnar. He's a tremendous competitor, and I never want to be caught in a dark alley with him.
No. But he held the UFC championship for almost 6 years.
Yeah, no, and held it justifiably.
Yeah, and he fought, every 6 to 8 months to defend it. So and he finally lost. But the point is that you would expect Triple H. You would expect you would expect Shawn Michaels. You would expect maybe a surprise appearance by somebody that the WWE universe deems worthy. The reason why I thought it was brilliant is leading into the match, there wasn't a whole lot of build-up. So it was almost like it lulled the fans into the security that it's not going to break this time because they're not building up anything, really. I mean, they built it up, but they really didn't build it up. It was a second card. The big thing they were building up was the Daniel Bryan thing.
Right.
So when Brock Lesnar pinned him, I mean, they had cameras ready all around the stands, and it was from what I hear, it was a crap match. It wasn't a very good match. I think Taker was just done. He was like, I can't do this. He's 50 years old, and so I think
it's interesting that you say that because there is. I don't think everybody knew what was going to happen. I honestly believe, because some people did the whole, they had the video footage for the 21-1, and I honestly think what it boiled down to is it was either Vince and Taker kept it very close to their chest, because if you go back and watch, and go back and watch, because I'll be completely and totally honest, the match was perhaps the most underwhelming match I have seen The Undertaker have in WrestleMania. And that includes
he's 50 years old.
And?
I mean, that guy's beat up, man. He can barely walk.
but that's just it, is at his age, at his experience in the business, he doesn't have to do a lot to do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that man can communicate volumes just with a look. The expression on his, legitimately, when I watched WrestleMania, I was in a room full of wrestling managers, wrestling workers, promoters, and around the room, there were guys who were actively speculating about, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. You can tell by Undertaker's face. Meanwhile, the one of us that was that had been, places, sat there and he said, no, that was exactly what was supposed to happen.
Yeah. Well, the whole conspiracy thing, and now they're talking about it was an Undertaker double, so the streak is still alive. It was brilliant.
My goodness.
It was absolutely brilliant. Well, Nigel, thank you very much for coming on the show. You're welcome on any time, and we do need to get together, sir.
Yes, we do, and thank you so much for having me.
And say hello to your lovely, lovely wife.
I will. Thank you so much.
You are now done. You may go snuggle with her, because I know she's waiting, probably giving you that look that I used
Actually,
to get.
she's having dinner.
Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nigel Rabbit of the Nigel Empire. You can check him out at MPX Wrestling. Go to MPX Wrestling on Facebook and check out the next time they're going to be making a run. They're up in the Dallas area. Sir, I will talk to you soon. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Ryan Lee joins me on the air. This is the Armed Radio Global Network. And I'm Mike Allen. We'll be back after these messages. Whether building, expanding, or remodeling, the name in site work is Savino Contracting. Experts in demolition, excavation, sewer and septic tank installation, and site prep. Get in touch on Twitter at Savino Contract or call 508-989-0960 or email to evsavino@yahoo.com. Savino Contracting has what it takes to get the job done.
Wow, that tiger lily on your shoulder has amazing colors.
Thanks. I just got this tattoo a week ago.
What? No way. That tattoo looks totally healed. My tattoos never looked that great after a week. What did you use on it?
It's not what I used on it, it's what I used in it.
Now you're just making fun of me. What do you mean in it?
Tattoo Rick told me that it's not only what you put on your tattoos, it's what you put in your body that also affects your tattoos.
Right. Another thing I have to change about my diet.
No, nothing like that. I take the tattoo pill.
Really? There's a pill for tattoos?
Yeah, it's called a tattoo pill. It's packed with 30 vitamins and minerals that your body needs to help operate at ideal level. It helps me before, during, and after my tattoo. Great thing is, it's made here in the United States from all natural ingredients. And for people like me that are vegetarians, the tattoo pill comes in a veggie capsule and is gluten-free.
Okay, you got me. Where do I get this tattoo pill?
TheTattooPill.com.
TheTattooPill.com?
Yes, all one word, TheTattooPill.com.
Hey, listen up. Are you tired of being tired? Looking for that extra boost? Do yourself a favor and visit BuyLimitlessEnergy.com to learn about limitless energy. That's BuyLimitlessEnergy.com for limitless energy. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. BuyLimitlessEnergy.com. That's BuyLimitlessEnergy.com. So stop wasting your life. Get limitless energy now.
Hey you, sitting in front of your computer dreaming that you could be paid to play games. Now it's possible. Start making money today playing new video games. How would you like to sit in the comfort of your own home, play and test games, eat pizza, drink soda, and get a nice big fat paycheck at the end of the month? This is a perfect opportunity for gamers, students, or someone that just doesn't have the time to commute to a dead-end part-time job, or for anyone who wants to sit in their pajamas and work from home. Join now, risk-free. Start your 7-day trial today at www.gamingjobsonline.com. That's www.gamingjobsonline.com. Game now.
All right, we are back. Joining me now on the air from the page Guns and Reason. I said that right, Rifles and Reason. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Ryan Lee. If you'd like to tweet in, guys, we're going to be talking about gun control here in America. A lot of things happening today, and a lot of things happening in the past month, actually, leading into the elections coming in November. A lot of things we got to talk about. Tweet us at Mike Allen Sports, hashtag it Armed Radio, or just hashtag it Armed Radio, and I'll pick it up on Twitter if you have any questions or would like to contribute today's show. Meanwhile, welcome, Mr. Ryan Lee. How you doing again, sir? Ryan, are you there? Hello?
Hey, what's up? Actually, right now, hold on, recall.
Oh, we're getting a bad connection
technical
here.
Difficulties going on.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to call on the phone? All right.
Sure. All right, just give me a number.
Put a number in the chat there, and I'll give it a call. We're gonna get this straightened out here.
Okay.
Just put it in the Skype chat right there.
All right.
We're trying to get connected with Ryan Lee. Skype's not working well for us here tonight, so we're gonna try to get him to. I'm gonna call him on the phone, so we can do that. We have the technology. So I don't want to give this out over the phone, or all you hot chicks will be calling him, and that won't work. Can't be calling Ryan, keeping him up all night. All right, here we go. There, phone's ringing. Again, if you'd like to tweet us, you can tweet at Mike Allen Sports, hashtag it Armed Radio.
All right, you hear me?
Mr. Ryan Lee. Welcome, sir.
All right. Sorry about the technical difficulties back
Hey,
there.
sometimes that happens with Skype.
All right.
It's not a pure form of communicating. Well, we just got done talking about professional. Are you a professional wrestling fan at all?
No, but I found that section before this one kind of interesting.
Well, it's very interesting. It's an interesting sport, to say the least. Interesting sport.
I got quite a few who are fans of the sport myself, so I'm not entirely detached from it.
Now, you come to us. You have a Facebook page, Rifles and Reason, right? Did I read that right?
Yes, sir.
Rifles and Reason. It's one of the pro Second Amendment, pro gun pages, and of course, I don't know if you saw earlier today, I banned the first page I've ever banned off my Mike Allen account. I usually like and share everybody's views, either left wing, right wing, pro, con. Of course, I always have guys like you who I've met through Facebook on. I've yet to have anybody from the con side of the gun issue come on the air. They won't do it. But one of the pages that pretty much banned me right out the gate, and all I did was send them a message and say, "Hey, come on my show, make your case. I'll ask you some questions, make your case." And they banned me. Was a page called Trollkin, putting gun nut trolls in their place or something like that. Some ignorant thing. But now they have resorted. They are so desperate to get guns banned. And they'll say, "We don't want to take your guns." Well, no, you just want to regulate them and register them and make sure they have licenses so you can take them if you want to. And then the excuse is, "Well, you didn't meet the criteria." But they started showing graphic pictures of suicides on their page.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Do you follow them at all?
I actually haven't, but it's not surprising considering the despicable stuff I've seen them post.
And it finally got to me because as a police officer, I've been to many of those crime scenes. And not only have I been to those scenes where somebody has decided that they should take their own life, but it's such a tragedy to not only the survivors, but suicide has to be the most selfish, most it's the worst way to go, because not only have you traumatized the people you've left behind because of your selfish, despicable act, you've now left behind a trail of people who will blame themselves. And to use those victims, to use the families, and they're not even covering up the faces. They were just showing people with their heads blown off. And that was it for me. I had to block them. I couldn't do it. I mean, that's when you get to that point. I mean, it's obvious what the end game is. The end game is ban all guns.
Yeah. Well, that page, I think like other pages have like declared that they're not open. Their page is not going to be any grounds for debate whatsoever. And they basically declare themselves to be an echo chamber. And that should be a sign that they are not willing to intellectually defend their points, and that their points, they're scared of criticism. And the thing about your points, like if you are willing to intellectually defend it, you will allow it to be subjected to even the harshest criticism.
Well, one of the pages that I follow is Steve Marmol, and I got it. You know, I have to hand it to Steve. No matter how, how I get, because I'm not the type of guy. I don't call names and degrade people, and you're an idiot, and you're stupid, and you piece of crap, and all that stuff. I don't do that. It's to me that takes away from the argument, and he hasn't banned me. And he's Steve Marmol is a comic out of California. He's very left wing. He's obviously, his posts and his memes are basically just attempts to, further the liberal cause, which is we can protect everybody with government, basically. And he hasn't banned me, but there's this guy, and I've got to read this thread because this is. It is his name's Arthur Tiersky. Tiersky. If you're out there listening and you would like to go to Arthur's page on Facebook, I don't think that's his real name. Of course, I'm not using my real name either for this. My real name's Mark Aspenletter. I use Mike Allen to broadcast and stuff. But I don't think that's his real name at all. But he's I get round and round with him, and he has the normal liberal tactic of take what you're saying out of context, call you a bunch of names, so that's 85% of his reply, and then claim victory. Yeah. And not really say anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I've been there. Actually, I was just there today with the post I shared with you in this comment thread of a anti-gun video of what a friend of mine made, and I wanted to contest him on several points that I found were lacking in consistency with reality. And his followers, his friends, are all they're ideologically motivated and don't care about what you have to say, and will just totally take you out of context, be intellectually dishonest, and claim victory without you barely even being able to say anything, really.
Well, I want to go through this thread because this is just typical. This is typical. Right. I put in name a car that has killed somebody. But basically, I threw out there, cars are... The point I was working to is that cars are registered, cars are licensed, but cars can be confiscated. And your right to drive can be taken away for not paying a ticket or not paying insurance, or for whatever reason. But I say, name a time a car killed someone without human manipulation. Never happened. Do we punish car manufacturers if a car is misused? No, we punish the driver. Do we punish the driver? And the difference between a car and gun ownership is driving a car is a privilege. Owning a gun is a right, yet people still drive with revoked licenses and impaired. And this is what... I was going back and forth with some other guy. I got to get to Arthur's thing. The name a car that killed someone without human manipulation. This is his reply. Arthur Tiersky is his name. He quoted me. Name a time a car killed someone without human manipulation. Oh my effing God! This again. He didn't say anything. What does that mean, Mike? Seriously, man, would What would it take to convince you that guns kill people all by themselves without any human involvement? It's not an argument anyone is making anywhere at all. Well, yeah, it is. Every time you say we need to ban all guns because guns are bad.
Yeah.
How many times do you have to punch that shadow? How many months of kicking the straw man, that's his big keyword, straw man, are you planning to put in this? Do you have any idea how effing stupid it sounds? Okay, so he's not answered anything. This week on Mike Allen, did Cary Grant rise from the dead and cause 9/11? I say no. Who's our first caller? And then he's mocking my show. And then he goes, Mike Allen also needs to understand that laws are intended to do. Laws are not about prevention. No law could ever prevent anything, but does provide recourse in case the law is broken. Totally agree. By this logic, since laws don't prevent, there should be no laws, which, of course, is beyond ignorant. I've never said there shouldn't be any laws. We have laws now. There's laws against murder. People still murder. There's laws that say that you can't buy a gun if you've been diagnosed with a mental illness. That's all over the whole country. Yet people with mental illnesses still get a hold of guns. You know, the guy that just shot up Fort Hood, he was under no restrictions at all. And until he committed that act, he wasn't a murderer. You couldn't point him out of a crowd and say, that guy right there, he's a murderer. Until he commits the act. So I asked him, so name a law, not already in the books, that would prevent people from getting killed by guns. Also, if you can, tell me the difference between a registered gun and a non-registered gun, and what would make the registered gun safer, because that's what they're all about. We need to register the guns.
Yeah. I also pointed out there was this really good Police One article that really described the whole process about how mass shootings even start to begin with. Starting with first one, the fantasy phase where the shooter dreams about committing the act. 2, the planning phase where they're getting their plans together and deciding what they're going to do. 3, preparation phase, which I think the antis are trying to prevent, but that obviously doesn't happen all the time. Where they gather materials, the approach, where they approach their target, and 5, implementation, where they actually start carrying out this force on innocent people. And one thing that
hold on, hold that thought. Hold that thought. We gotta run some commercials. We gotta pay some bills. I'm on the air with Ryan Lee of Rifles and Reason on Facebook. Like his page on Facebook. That's Rifles and Reason. Like him on Facebook. And go to Steve Marmel's page and find Arthur Tiersky and have some fun with him. God dang, that thing's just not working out right today. We're just not going to do it. And like Arthur Tiersky, because he's a hoot. And I tell you what, he's got some interesting information. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you're on the air. We'll be right back after these messages.
All right.
What if money were no longer a problem? What if you could earn extra money without risking what you are currently doing? We have an easy, cost-effective, and stable system for anyone that is money challenged or money motivated to kickstart their finances. Create a new potentially significant income source for as little as $1.25. Yes, that's 5 measly quarters. This is your solution for generating the kind of income you deserve. So take 5 quarters out of your couch cushions and go to www.5quarterbusiness.com. Again, that's www.5quarterbusiness.com.
This is Jason Merrill from the John and Jay Show every Tuesday nights at 11 Eastern on Live 365 Radio, home of the big guns.
In the morning, you have bacon, you have eggs, pancakes, and that nice big tall cup of coffee. But now, every Monday morning, you can start your week out right with On the Air Monday Morning Brew, starring yours truly, Mike Allen. Hey, that's me. Wake up in the morning, get a nice cup of coffee, kick back before you start your week, and let me send you on your way. Monday's getting a bad rap. Let's turn that around. On the Air with Mike Allen, Monday Morning Brew, every Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio.
So rise and shine.
This is Jason Merrill from the John and Jay Show every Tuesday nights at 11 Eastern on Live 365 Radio, home of the big guns.
In the morning, you have bacon, you have eggs, pancakes, and that nice big tall cup of coffee. But now, every Monday morning, you can start your week out right with On the Air Monday Morning Brew, starring yours truly, Mike Allen. Hey, that's me. Wake up in the morning, get a nice cup of coffee, kick back before you start your week, and let me send you on your way. Monday's getting a bad rap. Let's turn that around. On the Air with Mike Allen, Monday Morning Brew, every Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio. All right, we are back. I'm on the air with Mr. Ryan Lee of Facebook.
Hey.
Rifles and Reason. Go to his Facebook page, like him if you're for the Second Amendment. And here's the open challenge. Because this is what, I don't understand the anti-gun crowd, their animosity or their fear about coming onto a format like this and talking about it. I don't get it. I'm not. I've had people on before that I've disagreed with. I'm very open. I'll let you make your point because it's your time. You're my guest. I'm inviting you on my show. And Arthur Tiersky, I just sent you a message. We're talking about you right now. Sent you a link. All you got to do is let me know. We'll include you in the conversation. I'll get you on here right now. And if you don't want to get on here with both of us, I'm sure Ryan would be more than happy to step back and let you come on here. We're just going mano a mano. And you can tell me all about how guns are bad and how you don't want to take our guns. You just want to register them, license them, make sure we go through all this training to own one. And then if any little thing happens, they can take them from us. But you don't want our guns.
Yeah.
Now, the point you were making before we went into the break.
Yeah, 5 stages to mass shootings. Let me go over them again. Number 1, fantasy phase. Coming up with it. Number 2, planning phase, where they plan it, obviously. Number 3, preparation phase, where you get the stuff for it. Number 4, the approach, self-explanatory. Number 5, implementation, when you actually start shooting at people. And here's the thing. People who advocate all these gun control measures are under the impression that, we're going to stop phases 1 through 4. But when it comes to step number 5, implementation, what kind of law is going to save you then? I mean, it's like a fire, as I put it before.
And unless you can tell the future, you can't stop 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Unless you have some sort of Minority Report, Tom Cruise, couple of psychics in a swimming pool with a little wood ball, you don't know what's going to happen. Because up until how many times a day do you think people have that intention and at the last minute common sense takes over and they go home?
I actually don't know. It's probably more common than I think.
It's probably more common. There's no way to measure it because the act didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it's probably more prevalent than we think. I mean, every one of us here has had fantasies about beating the crap out of somebody when you get really, really mad. I'm sure Arthur thinks about beating the crap out of me all the time. I mean, I can tell by his posts. I mean, they're just the snarky. I mean, I really get under his skin. I mean, my replies are like a paragraph, and his are long. Don't say less than what mine do. But anyway.
Yeah, so as I was saying, by the time you've reached step number 5, what law is going to save you? The only thing you can do is take charge and find some way to stop it before it gets any worse. And what gun control does is essentially prevents people, qualified people, mind you, which is often the case, from having access to the tools that let them diffuse the situation accordingly. I mean, have you heard about the LAPD station shooting a few days ago?
LAPD police station got shot up?
Yeah, the thing was, somebody walked up to the desk clerk who luckily was wearing his vest and had his sidearm on him. And surely enough, the shooter was ended up being more critically injured than the guy who was shot.
Because he obviously didn't get more than one shot off.
Yep.
Walking into a police station. That's kind of stupid. Well, here's another perfect example that happened. And unfortunately, these things, to me, it's not a gun problem. It's a lack of respect for life. We had 2 instances in the United States where the weapon wasn't a gun. It was a knife. And 20 kids got slashed and stabbed in a high school. I'm not really sure where it was. Pennsylvania. Because of a knife.
Yep.
So that's not any better than a gun. People still got hurt. But it wasn't... Huh? Go ahead.
Oh, go on.
It's not the fact that the gun exists, and it's not the fact that it can be used. It's the fact that the person using it has no respect of life. That's the problem.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I totally get what you mean. They've most of what these shooters go through, they've indulged themselves in so much self-centered thoughts that it supersedes whatever thoughts you have in human life. Yeah, I mean, whether it be trying to spread some political message or to get a high kill count, whatever these shooters do is inherently selfish. And yeah, I totally agree. It totally supersedes whatever value they had.
Well, again, one person with a gun at that school would have ended those stabbings real quick.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, anti-gunners are like, it's not important as what happened to Sandy Hook because not enough people died, and it was with a knife, not a gun. As if somehow assaulting someone with a knife instead of a gun is inherently less special.
Yeah. Like a knife's not as bad. The knife still kill you. Matter of fact, more people were stabbed to death last year than were shot.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just, of course, what really gets me is as soon as something happens like that, all the anti-gunners, they're the first ones to post anything.
Yeah. Their exploitative nature at work.
Yeah, the first ones to say anything about anything and post anything about anything and complain about anything. And
what's ironic is they call us pro-gunners emotional for calling them out for what they're clearly doing, exploiting the situation accordingly.
Yeah, exactly. But we're the dangerous ones. And you know what else I notice a lot with the anti-gunners is they're always the ones that say they want to kill us. Or they hope that we would kill ourselves with our guns.
I've lost count of...
We hope you die.
Hope you shoot yourself with your own gun, Ryan.
Yeah.
I hope some burglar breaks into your home and kills you in your sleep before you can touch that gun of yours. Then it won't be any use to you then. That's some of the lousy responses I've gotten.
Yeah, it's I actually, again, Arthur and some others were talking about, well, your gun doesn't ensure that you're going to live. Well, so give up? So don't give myself a chance at all? You know? And then they...
Yeah.
So just lay there and take it? We'll fight back. I'm not going to just lie there and take it.
Yeah, I mean, 2 days ago, I remember I was on this comment thread, and obviously, and someone clearly didn't know that Fort Hood was a gun-free zone with restricted armory access, and even God, the stupidity is so much that it's starting to hurt my head just thinking about it.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't make any sense. You got these guys that are, and I was a soldier. You got guys that train and shoot. You got to shoot, every 3 months? They carry guns. Yeah. They clean guns every day. They're around guns, but you can't carry any guns.
Yeah, the idiot said, he proposed that, he hypothesized that letting soldiers, qualified soldiers, mind you, conceal carry on base, it would lead to a crossfire and lead to more casualties. Whereas we have real-life examples of where that hasn't happened, and yet antis are stuck in hypothetical land.
Yeah, because we'd rather have one person get... We don't want one person to get injured by friendly fire. We'd rather let 20 get killed harmless.
Yeah, and somehow it's more morally acceptable to let people get...
killed.
To let people take it.
Yeah, with honor. We don't want teachers to have guns because in the process of shooting at the gunman and killing them, they could hit another teacher or a child. So you'd rather let 20 kids get slaughtered than have a teacher take a couple of shots at a guy and maybe, in the off chance that a ricochet will injure somebody else. So you have 3 dead instead of 20.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. To me, I don't look at guns as a big thing. They hold guns to such they hold it to a status that they don't need to. Really. A gun is a gun. It's I got guns. They're here. They're locked up. I got bullets. They're locked up. It's like I've got guns strategically placed for home defense that aren't accessible to anybody else but me. I don't have any kids here, but if I did, they'd be out of reach. I had guns with my kids growing up. We all made it. Kids know how to shoot.
Yeah.
I don't get the undue stigma. And then
it's quoting my more anti-gun friend here. It's because for what he believes. I'm glad he was honest about this. Actually, he thinks that our country has an unhealthy fetish for it, and it's dangerous. But apparently, from personal experience between you and me, it's something that's clearly not. Yeah. And I actually do like your advice that you put forth last time I was on the show. Is that you said if your kids ask to see your gun, you said you'll show it to them as long as they ask. And I'm thinking of doing the same with my kids.
Well, one of the things I did with my kids, especially when they're young, is I took away the stigma. I took away the curiosity, and then I made them accessible so that anytime, the only rule is that you never touch a gun when Daddy's not here, and that when Daddy is here, if you would like to see his gun, ask me.
Yeah.
And I'd go get it, and I'd clear it and unload it and make sure there's no bullets in it, and I'd hand it to him. Here, don't point it, and this is and taught him how to handle it, and taught him how to carry it, and taught him that every gun is loaded. I taught him that if you see a gun in someone else's house, you don't touch it. You go find a grown-up and stay away from it and keep others away from it. And that's the way I was brought up. I was brought up with guns hanging on the wall in my bedroom with shells in my dresser, and so did my son. My daughter didn't really take to guns, but we went out and shot, and she had no problem with them. And she just wasn't as enthusiastic. There was no curiosity. These kids are learning about guns from basically they're learning about guns from first-person shooter games. And it's not good. When you know everything about an MP5 from a graphic on a computer game, you don't really know what an MP5 does. And there's no reset. You don't go back to the respawn point once you get shot. Well, hey, we got to take a commercial break. You can stick around. We got one more segment.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on the air with Ryan Lee of Rifles and Reason. Go ahead and like his Facebook page. Like him. And if you are pro-Second Amendment, or if you're anti-Second Amendment, like his page and like him. And make your case. And this is an open invitation to anybody out there. Arthur Tiersky, specifically, if you'd like to come on the show, I'll give you your time. I'll ask some questions because I want to know what it is that makes you think the way you do. And we'll interview you. So don't be scared. I don't bite. And I'm not like a Hannity. I'm not going to shout you down and scream and yell and call you names. You should know from my post that I don't do that. But any of them is welcome to come on the show. But we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Armed Radio Global Network. I'm Mike Allen, and you are on the air. We'll be back after these messages.
Breaking news, sports fans. Daily Big Shot is in your face. Daily Big Shot is taking over fantasy sports. Fantasy sports players are raving about the bigger payouts and better scoring rules. Customers are running to sign up for free or play for daily entry fees. It's easy. Sign up, select players. Team with the most points wins. Sign up and enter DailyBigShot.com's free pro jersey or pro game ticket contest just by registering. DailyBigShot.com. Better payouts, better scoring, better fantasy sports. Some rules and restrictions may apply. See website for details.
What if money were no longer a problem? What if you could earn extra money without risking what you are currently doing? We have an easy, cost-effective, and stable system for anyone that is money challenged or money motivated to kickstart their finances. Create a new potentially significant income source for as little as $1.25. Yes, that's 5 measly quarters. This is your solution for generating the kind of income you deserve. So dig 5 quarters out of your couch cushions and go to www.5quarterbusiness.com. Again, that's www.5quarterbusiness.com.
Want to lose weight, gain energy and performance, age more youthfully, or enhance your skin at the cellular level? Then Isogenics is for you. Simply take a portion of your grocery budget and put it towards your health. I understand life gets busy, but there is no better time to pursue your health goals than with Isogenics today. Barry Oxford would like to set up an appointment with you to answer any questions and help you better understand why Isogenics and why now. Please visit his website at www.barryoxford.isogenics.com. That's BARRYOXFORD.ISAGENIX.com to either buy products or sign up. Save 33% if you act right now. This message brought to you by Barry Oxford, your Isogenics independent associate.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Wow, that tiger lily on your shoulder has amazing colors.
Thanks. I just got this tattoo a week ago.
What? No way. That tattoo looks totally healed. My tattoos never looked that great after a week. What did you use on it?
It's not what I used on it, it's what I used in it.
Now you're just making fun of me. What do you mean in it?
Tattoo Rick told me that it's not only what you put on your tattoos, it's what you put in your body that also affects your tattoos.
Great. Another thing I have to change about my diet.
No, nothing like that. I take the tattoo pill.
Really? There's a pill for tattoos?
Yeah, it's called a tattoo pill. It's packed with 30 vitamins and minerals that your body needs to help operate at ideal level. It helps me before, during, and after my tattoo. Great thing is, it's made here in the United States from all natural ingredients. And for people like me that are vegetarians, the tattoo pill comes in a veggie capsule and is gluten-free.
Okay, you got me. Where do I get this tattoo pill?
TheTattooPill.com.
TheTattooPill.com?
Yes, all one word, TheTattooPill.com.
Hey you, sitting in front of your computer dreaming that you can be paid to play games. Now it's possible. Start making money today playing new video games. How would you like to sit in the comfort of your own home, play and test games, eat pizza, drink soda, and get a nice big fat paycheck at the end of the month? This is a perfect opportunity for gamers, students, or someone that just doesn't have the time to commute to a dead-end part-time job, or for anyone who wants to sit in their pajamas and work from home. Join now, risk-free. Start your 7-day trial today at www.gamingjobsonline.com. That's www.gamingjobsonline.com. Game now.
This is Jason Merrill from the John and Jay Show every Tuesday nights at 11 Eastern on Live 365 Radio, home of the big guns.
Welcome back, folks. My name is Mike Allen. You're listening to On the Air, the Armed Radio Global Network. We're going to try to, let's see here if we can get all these together. Merge. Got this new phone, conference call. Got two people. Ryan Lee, and who joined us here?
This is Darren Scott.
Darren Scott. You're the other admin for Rifles and Reason. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you've been listening along and following along the conversation?
No, I just tuned in.
No, not really. Not really. That's great. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show. We were just talking about Facebook to me has turned into one big debate session. It's the only reason I go to Facebook anymore, just to relax and debate people.
Oh yeah.
And one of the pages that I'm very active on is the Steve Marmol page. And one of the guys on Steve Marmol's page that goes, anytime I post anything, he's quick to jump on it. Doesn't really say anything. Spends about 60% of whatever he posts insulting me. And then after he insults me, he says something real snarky, and then so it's kind of funny. You ought to go. If you're not a friend of Steve Marmol, friend him and then check out the feeds because they're pretty funny. But just talking about the whole mindset behind the anti-Second Amendment, anti-gun crowd, who's just where they get their thought process. Really, I don't get it.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm about to graduate with a degree in psychology right now, and I was actually going to talk about that. The anti-gun mindset that is. I've noticed that there are two main kinds of anti-gunners. There's the misguided kind, and then there's the agenda kind. It's not just, and the agenda kind isn't just those with the who are politicians or whatever. They have this ideological framework by which they need to focus on and they need to abide by. It's kind of dogmatic in some ways. And then you have the misguided people who are just, they feel very emotionally about the subject, and they're misguided, generally lack knowledge of firearms.
And they're emotional.
Yeah, they're most of them. And the misguided people are the ones who are exploited by the agenda people. And it's pretty crazy when you listen to some of the agenda people. It's pretty sociopathic when it's Machiavellian. They say, okay, well, how can I exploit this tragedy? Oh, damn it, there weren't enough dead people in this tragedy. What are the ways in which we can do anything possible to disparage guns and gun owners?
Or demonize.
Yes.
Demonize. Big time demonize. Well, we've got And of course, Facebook is such a narrow avenue, narrow venue for all this. You can't get sucked into the fact that not a lot of people are anti-gun.
Yeah.
You have an anti-gun rally and 5 people will show up. You have a pro-gun rally and they take over the whole thing with guns. So I think the majority of Americans are kind of sitting back, not really saying anything, but they should, because you lose the second and the rest follow close behind, and that's people don't understand that.
Mm-hmm. The agenda people are pretty few and far between, but they're the vocal ones. And then most, like the pro Second Amendment people are more vocal amongst the rest of us. So just by numerical, the numbers of people who are vocal about something, there's going to be more people vocal about gun rights, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, and then politicians know where their bread's buttered. We have Wendy Davis down here running for governor of state of Texas. She's a staunch Democrat, pro-abortion, made national headlines by standing up and filibustering a bill that was going through the Texas House on abortion, and she's running for governor against Greg Abbott, and she's pro-gun as a Democrat, which doesn't sit well with too many Democrats. But you're not going to be anti-gun in Texas and make it anywhere outside of Austin. Austin's very liberal, but anywhere out of Austin, if you're not pro-gun, you're probably not going to get elected, I would say. Not at a state level, anyway. You guys still there? Oh, okay. You guys got quiet. I thought maybe I dropped the call. I got this new phone.
No.
I got this new phone. It's the Samsung Note 3. And I will just say it's the best phone I've ever owned. It's pretty freaking cool.
Right.
So how do you know Ryan?
Well, we just kind of we met over Facebook, and he started the Rifles and Reason page, and we've had conversations since, and we both live in California. We were talking about where you can get elected as an anti-gun politician. It's here, let me tell you. And so we definitely bonded over that.
Just had a guy get his guns taken without a search warrant, and the only thing that he did is he went to a mental hospital for a couple of days, nonviolent. I think he just went to handle some stress, and they went and took all his guns. No warrant.
That's sad. There's a stigma against the mentally ill people. The majority of mentally ill people are not harmful.
No, they're not. They're just, they're not violent.
Mm-hmm.
They're not violent. Well, good stuff. You got any military background?
No. As I said, I'm just finishing up my education in psychology, planning on going into social work after that. And when I do that, I'm trying to eventually work at Veterans Affairs to help veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Well, there's a page that I'm connected with here called vitalwarrior.org. Check them out. And if you would like an avenue to put your schooling to work, the veterans need people to reach out to them. And his name's Miguel Vega. Used to be a Navy SEAL. He was a chief in the Navy SEAL. He's now doing work in Hollywood as an actor, following his dream as an actor. But he came back and was put on the psychotropic drugs and to handle his stress of combat. He had tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, and he sought a different route, a more natural route to get back into balance, and he's reaching out to veterans and helping them with that. It's vitalwarrior.org. If you go to my Facebook page, there's a link to it, and you get connected with them, and they're looking to expand across the country, and they need good people.
Okay, great, man. Thanks for the tip there.
No worries. Well, good stuff. Well, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Glad to be on.
The page is Rifles and Reason. It's on Facebook. Like them on Facebook. You guys got a Twitter account? You tweet?
Not one for the page. Individually, yeah.
Just individually? Well, anybody out there, make sure you follow me at Twitter, at Mike Allen Sports. And if you want to tweet the show while we're live, just hashtag that bad boy Armed Radio. You guys go ahead and send me a like on tweet, and I'll like you back. It's sad that my 18-year-old daughter's got almost 400 friends on Twitter, and I got 80. That says something about the generation. Well, good stuff. Ryan, thank you, sir, for coming on.
Anytime.
And, God dang it, I didn't write your name down when you came on. I do apologize. Darren?
Yeah.
Darren and Ryan of Rifles and Reason. Like them on Facebook. Follow them. Support them. And we'll have you guys on again for a full show anytime something comes up. Matter of fact, the convention here, the Libertarian Convention, is this weekend. Next weekend, Tom Green will be coming on to talk about the convention. He's the candidate for Attorney General here in Texas. So we might get the whole group on again from Hypocrisy and Stupidity, and might get you guys on too.
Wonderful.
That'll be see how many folks my phone can handle. Well, appreciate it, guys.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
Be on back soon.
We'll talk to you guys soon. All right. It was Ryan Lee and Douglas of Rifles and Reason. I got somebody sitting in my studio over here. Can't see who it is in the dark.
Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
I know you, Nick. Have we met? We've never met.
We have. I'm not sure if I remember.
Not sure if we're talking to the mic. That's what the mic's there for.
All right. What's going on?
There you go. Nick.
Yeah.
You helping Alex move, huh?
Yeah. I'm
There you go.
Yeah, we came to get his dresser, and I think
Clean that room out, vacuum.
I don't know about all
You know,
that.
just get the big stuff.
Yeah.
Well, where do you know Alex from?
We met through Shelby.
Oh, okay, Shelby. Yeah.
So
do you go to UT, or you just friends down there?
No, Shelby's from Brenham, and Alex. I don't know how Alex and Shelby met, but Alex is my brother. Alex is also your son. They became friends. Alex moved down here. I moved down here. We became friends. Now we work together.
At the landscaping, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to bring your work home to me, right? Up front? You saw I killed all my grass out there. Yeah. Friday I'm scraping it up and putting down a Bermuda.
Yeah.
Should have done that a long time ago.
No, you do it now. Just water it in.
Just don't even.
Bermuda. I'm not doing anything back here. The dogs tore that up.
They did?
Yeah. Oh, we're still live. I'm just talking. Talking to your friend over here who's actually talking on the mic, unlike you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
That's all right.
Well, you taking care of
them? I guess. I mean.
Yeah.
Saved me from a giant wasp today.
Yeah, I walked up to a house the other day, an abandoned house. I was going to go check it, and I forgot to look up because it's been a long winter.
Yeah.
I forgot to look up, and I got nailed right in the back of the head. I was like, damn it.
Sucks.
Big old nest. Well, I'm going to close it out here.
All right.
All right. Well, guys, another great show. Remember, I'm on every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Armed Radio Global Network, along with our other fine shows. Starting Monday morning, 6 a.m., I get up that early, drink a cup of coffee, come on here, and talk for about an hour and a half. That's always fun. It's Monday Morning Brew. Then at noon, Central Standard Time, Tattoo Rick comes on for Afternoon Bites. Talk about tattoos and biker stuff. And Matt Hazley closes out Monday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time with Straight Talk. Tuesday night's all ladies' night. Oh, yeah. Melanistama comes on at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Regina is talking smack at 10. Wednesday night, that's me, 10 p.m. Central Standard. Thursday night, the girls are back, and they sandwich around Joe Rocks. at Night Talk with Joe and his buddy, the Dog. Dog, the senior hunter. He goes after gilfs. You know what a gilf is? Don't say it. Think about it. Then Regina takes it home past midnight. She stays up late on Thursday nights. Then Matt Hazley on Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for some more Straight Talk. And that's all the great shows we have here on Armed Radio. The rest of the time is 24 hours of music from the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's good music. That's my kind of music. That's my kind of music. And we might even throw a couple of Rat Pack stuff in there. Nothing like some Rat Pack music. Well, I'm out of here. I've had a good time. Thank you so much for Nigel Rabbit for coming on and talking about the big wrestling show and, of course, the passing of the Ultimate Warrior. Hope to see him again soon. MPX Wrestling is up in Dallas. Don't forget, next Friday night, next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, April 18th, bell time, 7 p.m., Belts of Honorius, Cage of Athena. Probably about 20 bouts. Half of them are going to be women. If you've never been to an MMA fight, head on down to South Austin to the Nutty Brown Cafe. Tickets are available now at cagetix.com. Do not miss that show. It will sell out. Until then, oh, and also thank you to Ryan and his friend Douglas of Rifles and Reason. Like them on Facebook. Follow them and help support the Second Amendment in the upcoming elections in November. Till next time, I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you have been on the air.